Hello again, I am John Bob and welcome to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team here on the PS5. No, on the PC. It's force of habit, sorry. Tonight, it's getting close to that halfway point of Season 1. We're up to round 9. We are heading to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's going to be a really, really, really wet one. You can see here from the weather forecast, we have very heavy rain forecast all day for Saturday. For Saturday. So it might just only affect practice, but I get the feeling it's going to hit qualifying at the very least, as well as maybe practice. And then on Sunday, big downpour. Big downpour. It's going to be hopefully a fully wet race, because we haven't had a fully wet race yet this year. We had part of a wet race at Miami, but it's been dry all season so far. So, let's see if we get a completely wet race. That'll be kind of interesting. How you doing, Dino? Good to see you. Hopefully everyone can hear me nice and clearly. I've changed my audio settings a little bit to try and up the game and chat volume a little bit. Did some recording last night and it came out nice and clean, but very quiet. So not quite sure how I can fix that at the moment. Okay, our race sim is now level 3. Fantastic. That'll be a nice helpful boost to both Mick and Teo as they try and improve themselves this season, and also mainly for Tuka as well, our 17-year-old rookie who we signed just about a month ago. We also have a completed research project on the chassis. Was it me, or there's a lot of feedback then for all of a sudden? Not quite sure what caused that. Let's just turn the gain down slightly. Right, kind of lost my train of thought for a second then. So let's see, we've got 5 days to go until Montreal. Let's take a quick look. Why is Mick not so... Oh, of course, he's crashed in the last race. That's why he's not quite so happy. Tuka is nice and happy. He's happy with his development rate. He's happy with his contract negotiation. Well, his contract negotiation patience has gone up. His development rate's gone up. His performances are going up. Let's see. He's happy with mentoring. He's happy with team results, constructor standings. He's happy that I've improved the facilities and completed a research project, but he's unhappy with some of the other staff. I don't know why. And he's unhappy with car performance. And I think it's fair to say that everybody is unhappy with our car performance. It's still not a great car. It really isn't. How much cash do we have? 1.2 mil. 11 days to go until those are done. We have got a slot available to start building. We need to build more chassis. Let's go ahead and put 2 in. And that's pretty much all my money gone instantly, unfortunately. Not ideal, but we'll have to just make do, I guess. We really do need a better injection of cash next season. We will have prize fund money next season, which we don't have this year. And we're going to try and renegotiate some contracts as well. See if we can maybe get our costs down a little bit. So I think it's still too early to do anything about these guys. Yeah, still too close to the start of the contract. Tuka's gone up by a point. Excellent stuff. Yeah, we know about the powertrain crash at Monaco. Has done huge damage to Mick for later in the season. This is the strategy prep. It says it's going to be warm, high chance of rain, so have a wet weather strategy ready. It says one stop. If it is going to rain, one stop for us is going to be the way to go, I think. We'll see. The AI will probably two stop if it's all wet and the conditions don't fluctuate too badly. It depends. If it's mainly going to be inters, then I think we might see two stops. But if there's wets and it stays full wet all the way through, there'll only be one stop because you only get 2 sets of wet tyres. So yeah, so there'll only be that one stop, and we might not even get that if I'm honest. Let's see what is coming up in our calendar. There is our chassis manufacturing, the first one. There's our new suspension and underfloor completing, so we can then put those into production. We're going to have a real backlog of trying to get stuff built before we hit Spain and then Austria. There's a suspension completing. We get some money from our sponsors right before we head to Barcelona, and then we get a new ATR right after Barcelona as well, and we've got a triple header coming up. So yeah, it's going to get congested, it's going to get very busy. How far away? I know we've just had to delay this, haven't we? We're still now 28 days away from getting that up and running to the next level. That's not good at all. But just, I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford to pay the overtime to keep it on schedule. Let's set our targets for tonight. 18th for Mick and 18th for Teo. And let's head to Montreal.
Formula One has arrived here in Quebec, and we're excited to get underway. Let's hope it's not going to be Groundhog Day. The local rodents have disrupted more than one race day here in the past. The Canadian Grand Prix is ready to kick off, and the only drama on the tracks we want to see is the best drivers in the world battling it out for a place on that podium. Lando Norris delivered for his team in the last race and will head into this weekend with plenty of confidence. Can the Brit bring it home in this round too? Let's see what the weekend has in store.
So a lot of flashing going on there. I have preemptively changed the graphic setup because we're going to be mainly just running at times 16 through the practice weekend. And so it's in preparation for the wet conditions to try and eliminate all that really weird outlining that we get in the wet. So we're getting a few flashes while we're getting prepped on day one. But not too many because, as I say, we're going to be skipping through a good chunk. Man, that car's in rough shape, isn't it? Still on the first ERS there. There we go. So the only saving grace from the crash yesterday was that it happened at a point when we were still running the first of the 2 ERS units. If that was the brand new ERS that we just put into Mick's car, that would have been disastrous. Absolutely disastrous. Right, Canada is 21 laps if you want to do 2 runs. We only want to do the 1, so we're going to go with 32 laps of fuel. And we've done the parts. Let's do Teo at 32 laps of fuel as well. There we go. And now we'll start with setups. So, slightly higher downpours than you might think. It is still quite a twisty circuit. Evening, Farah. Yes, I saw that we've signed Virts, 100 mil plus an extra 16 in add-ons, depending on whether we have a sustained period of success. Should be a good deal. Certainly signed one of the most promising young European talents in world football right now. Bundesliga Player of the Year twice already, which is pretty damn impressive. Right, let's go with something a little bit different. I'm actually going to drop the front wing down even further on this one. I'm going to go down to a 3. But no, I'm going to go to a 2.5. Screw it. Let's go all the way down to 2.5. We're going to go to a 12 on the rear wing. We're going to go with a 4.6, so we're not going to go anywhere near as extreme on this one. And then I'm going to go the opposite way with our camber. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do that, and let's see if either of those setups get anywhere near where we need to be.
Check 1, 2, 3.
So again, we know we're going to get some flashes.
Copy.
Not worried about those.
Okay, copy.
Going to get some ghosting as well. This is just practice, so we're going to be skipping through all of this. I've preemptively put in settings that will hopefully work better in the wet conditions for our graphics engine.
So we do radio check.
Of course, we won't know that until we actually get to the wet weather on day 2.
I'm not fully ready, okay?
Once again, we have quite a few rookies out on track. Let's see, Ollie Behrman's in for Ferrari. Zay Maloney is in for Sauber. Bortoletto's in for McLaren. It's moving too fast. It keeps changing. Let's have a look. So yeah, there's Bortoletto. There's Ollie Behrman. Colapinto's in. Pato O'Ward is in as well for McLaren. There's Maloney. That's it. So not as massive a number as we've seen before, but certainly a decent smattering of young talent getting a run out in FP1. I suppose we should probably think about maybe giving Tuca a run at some point. Can't do it here. Maybe Spain. Maybe we'll send him out for a run at Spain.
Any feel on balance?
All right, it's only good, so that's not encouraging.
Copy. Okay.
68%. Oof. Evening, Victor. 96 though for Teo, so we definitely got it very close with him. Let's continue to wisdom round.
Copy, mate.
The upshifts are degrading. Upshift.
So there's some gearbox issues creeping in for Haas with Nico Hulkenberg there. Let's take a little look-see. Oh, quite a lot of stuff needs to change. Yeah, I'm getting feedback in my headset, so I'm going to just change my headset. Okay, let's see how we do this time. I was getting some weird feedback because I'm using cheap in-ear headphones the last couple of days, and yeah, every time I got close to the mic, I would start to hear a little bit of a feedback whine in my ear, and I didn't know if that was translating across onto the microphone or not, but I could hear it, and so rather than take that risk, switch to my big cans instead. Let's move the roll bar. I now can't really hear very well with these ones because of the way I've got everything configured. Let me tweak that a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. Bit better, bit better, bit better. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. So let's see. I want that to probably go up to there. Maybe take that down to a 3. Push that up a bit more. Let's bring that all the way up to there. Let's give that a go. So we've got a decent gap there on the oversteer. Cornering has changed dramatically. We've brought that in line there. We've got a big gap there, big gap there. Let's give that a go. And let's see what little tweaks we need to make for Teo. Very little tweaks. Very little tweaks indeed. I'm just going to do this. I'm still getting feedback. I think maybe it's the mic setting in OBS is too high. Let me turn that down. Okay. Let's go with that. So Hulkenberg's gearbox has given up. That is a very smoking car.
Oh, that's not good. They'll need to retire the car.
Well, that decision has been taken away from him. He has no choice but to retire it. It's given up completely. Again, that might have been a red flag in normal conditions, but with the racing mod, it does try and prevent excessive red flagging. I think it's only if something is blocking the racing line, there's no way for a car to get round, that it then throws the red. But that, yeah, if that had gone red in normal circumstances, that would have been the end of the session. And given its proximity to the corner itself and how close it was to being on the track, it could well have been a red. So Yuki's got a penalty. Mick has a penalty. I forgot about that. An unjust penalty, might I add. Let's go with another 30 laps. Setup changes have already been made, so let's just send them straight to the track.
Green.
Not a lot of official corner names for this circuit. There's only 3, really, that have official names that I know of. You've got the hairpin, turn 10, which is known as Leppingl. Then you've got the Wall of Champions, also known as the Quebec Wall. That's the chicane, turn 13 and 14 at the end of the lap. And then you've got turn 2, which is Virage Senna. There might be 1 or 2 more corner names on the opposite side of the track. I don't know what they are. And the long drag down to the pit entrance is the Casino Straight. But that's pretty much it, I think, for this circuit. Everything else is just corner numbers, as far as I know.
How's the balance?
For now, no. It feels really good.
Okay, copy.
All right, it's definitely an improvement for Mick, 88%, but there's definitely room for more improvement there. How have we got it right, though, with Teo? No, we've actually gone backwards slightly. But we've only gone down by 1%, so that, to me, suggests that we found the right value for something while going the wrong way for something else. So hopefully that'll help paint a clearer picture of the final changes we need to make going into the next session. Still a little bit of guesswork for Schumacher, though.
Rear zone, cool side.
So let's have a look. Yeah, there. So we got that right, but that is wrong. So maybe that needs to go up to a 5. And then if we push that back up to a 1, that could well do it. Right, what about Schumacher? This is still wrong, so that's going to have to be a 3.7. And then we're going to drop this down that way to bring it a little bit closer. Going to go back to a 2.5 on the front wing, I think. going to go with that. See how that works. And that is it for us in this session. All right, session's come to a close. Now comes the big weather. What tyres are we going to start this session on? Full wets. Look at that. 4.74 mil of water on the track. Now we've got to be careful here because we've only got these 2 sets of wets. So I'm actually going to go out on a set of inters rather than full wets. So we can try and save those full wets for qualifying in the race. 30 laps is probably way more than I need. Let's just go down to 22 laps. Let's take a quick look. Oh, wow, yeah, it's going to get very spiky, isn't it? We're going to be on the wrong tyres, but like I said, I'd rather save the proper tyres for when we're actually going to need them. Is it me or are our helmets glowing? It's like we've got illuminated visors. Maybe our drivers are Cylons. I should have checked, actually. I don't know which driver's got the better wet skill.
Copy that.
So we've definitely got issues with the visuals. We need to get this sussed now because this is how we're going to be spending most of the Grand Prix. Let's try TSR. Let's try dropping it down a little bit more. Nope, that's not going to work. Nope. Settings. There we go. That's still bad. I wish I didn't have to keep changing things like this every time we go to a new Grand Prix. Wish there was just one setting that worked in all conditions. It's a little bit better, still just a little bit. So we can go all the way up to 100 and eliminate that. looking like that could be it. Looking good so far. Let's get back round to the hairpin and then we'll check a different camera angle. We are absolutely creeping around because we're very much on the wrong tyres at the moment. And we're only going to get slower. Yeah, that all looks good. Fantastic stuff. Let's check the main broadcast cam. Excellent stuff. All right, let's speed them up, shall we? Oh, wow, look at that. The water level's actually getting close to interconditions. It is interconditions. We're actually on the right tyre. That I didn't expect. It's going to spike again in a minute, and then it's going to spike again, and then it's going to spike a final time, and then stay at full wets, according to that. But yeah, I don't put too much stock in our weather centre at the moment. It's pretty low, and it's also being used by the sponsors, so it's pretty abysmal. You see, like 45% forecast accuracy. Which means there's more than a 1 in 2 chance that it's completely wrong. Them's not great odds. What we can do, though, is by watching this, we can see and kind of get a feel for what the water level might look like in the Grand Prix. For when it comes to choosing what type of tyres we need to run at what times. So we can see it down to about 3 mil at the moment. Unfortunately, what we're seeing is our prediction being very much corrected by what's actually happening.
Any feel for rounds?
Felt very good in the car.
All right, some improvement for Mick. How much improvement?
Are you happy with the car?
Actually, no. Gone down. We have found a couple more percent with Teo. I'm going to call them both in. And we'll make some final tweaks and changes, I think, potentially.
Move up now.
Pit lane. Copy.
Let's see if we've got a leaky garage.
Copy.
Oh, we can't see yet. That's an easy fix. Well, theoretically, it's an easy fix. That needs to go to there, and then that needs to come back to fix it. That should be good. That should be good. What about Mick? No, still off on that. The only thing we can do then is go that extreme and try and bring it back. I can't bring it back. So it's going to have to be a 2.8. Evening, Adrian. I don't know where to go on this. Is it still a 4.6 after all? I mean, it just doesn't feel like it would be, but maybe it is. Maybe it's a 3.7 and we just need to correct the display. I don't like this. This one's stumping me. It really is. I don't know where to go on this setup. I really don't. I can't get it where I want it. Screw it. Let's go with that. No. Yeah, I have never used those websites. I never intend to use those websites. I'm quite happy using the old noggin. Evening, Mr. Jones. Let's go back to monitoring the water levels, shall we? So you can see how vastly different what's actually happened is against what our prediction was earlier on. And this does kind of suggest that we're maybe only going to need one set of wet tyres.
I'm not fully ready.
Or at least one new set of wet tyres, and then we can maybe use the other ones in qualifying with a plum and reckless, well, not reckless abandon, but
Tires are on the cold side.
we don't have to nurse them. Does look like there's going to be a fair bit of inter-running. Should make for an interesting race, though, if the weather conditions are going to fluctuate like this, constantly switching between inters and wets. It's going to be figuring out, is, you know, the dips into inter conditions going to be sustainable enough to warrant switching tyres? Is there going to be enough of a performance delta difference between the two compounds? Because the wets will still hold up reasonably well in the threes. The inters will not hold up well in the fours. And this water was all supposed to be pretty much up here. So it's way lower than our kind of crappy forecaster. We spent more time on inter conditions than we have on actual full wet conditions, I think. Let's see. Did we fix Mick? No, 82%. 99% for Teo. Oh, so close. So close.
Okay, copy.
So I'm going to have to do a little bit of a Hail Mary with Mick's setup, I think. Did not get him where I wanted him. But if we can get up to about 90%, that will hit 100. So it's not the end of the world.
Now it's time to see who'll come out on top as qualifying gets underway.
The circuit Gilles Villeneuve isn't a permanent track, so circuit evolution is high over the Grand Prix weekend. Overtaking is possible, but getting a well-timed lap in qualifying will help any driver.
Now there's been a bit of talk about Sergio Perez of late. How's he going to be feeling, do you think?
They weren't as quick as I expected them to be in practice. They'll want to land better lap times than that today to earn a solid position on the starting grid.
But don't go anywhere, folks. It's nearly time for qualifying.
The flashes are back. All right, so, oh wow, look how low that water level is. 1.41. Starting on inters then. Very much so. Let's see. Okay, so that has to be somewhere over there. Gonna go up a bit more. Bring that back to there. That has to go all the way up there. I don't know what that's going to do. Not convinced about that. But it is showing as great, which is the closest we've come on the traction, so I'm going to leave that where it is. I like that gap. I'm okay with that gap. That gap is okay. Not sure about that, but it should be an improvement. Let's swap out powertrain parts, shall we? Going to go 63% engine because it's a wet race, so pace will be a lot lower. Go. Better options for Teo. There we go. And let's send them out. Oh, no, wait. Slight change here. There we go. Let's put 2 laps of fuel in as well. 2 flying runs. Check the weather. Oh, it's actually going to potentially go dry at the very end of the session. So let's get an early indicator test.
Big work on brakes.
Oh, I think I've nailed it. I think I've nailed it. That confidence being there suggests that that is very close to 100, if not 100. And that should, well, that is bang on for Porsche. So, yeah, awesome. Brain power wins in the end. Stick that in your pipe and smoke
This is
it,
a
Farah.
good position for us. Come on.
Tires are okay. Let's
So,
go.
first flying
Nice
lap
work.
around the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve.
Clear ahead. And push.
I am expecting Teo to be quicker. Through Virage Senna. Up to the chicane, turns 3 and 4. Sweeping right-hander for 5 into turn 6, where Vettel had that lock-up in 2011. Porsche is a 10th up in the opening sector. Through the 8-9 chicane on the run down to the hairpin at turn 10. Through turn 11. And a little kink here at 12. Down the Casino straight. Almost identical in the middle sector. And up to the line as we exit the Wall of Champions. Porsche goes top. 119.5.6 or 119.56 against the 119.70. So very close. 10th and a half between them. Is anyone else on track yet? Nope, it's just us. Everyone else is waiting for the track to dry up a little bit by the look of it, which is going to happen any moment. That's fine. It means we can build our confidence levels up into peak. As the sun comes out.
The tires are now in the window. Come on.
Let's ride with Porsche on this
Go,
one.
go, go.
Copy, copy.
I'm looking okay.
Yeah, there we go. You see the water level starting to come down, so these laps will be quicker. Two reasons. One, a drying track. Two, drivers will have a lot more confidence. And still no traffic issues to worry about. Porsche quicker in the opening sector, and this time he's getting a little bit of helping hand from the track. It's always going to be slightly drier for him than it is for Mick. So the gap between the two, currently 1300ths, might actually go up as a result of that. Oh, it'll be slicks at the end of the session. Yes. We've still got 12 minutes to go, so it'll absolutely be slicks. But I say we're building up our driver confidence level so that we're able to attack at maximum pace straight away on the soft tyres. And there we go. The gap is now 0.3 of a second. So let's bring them back. Track has now changed to dry, so DRS is now available. Nobody else has come out yet. We're configured for 2 runs. I don't want to do 2 runs. Don't want the extra fuel weight. And we won't have full battery on the second run. There we go. So now it's just waiting for the most opportune moment. Everyone's going out early so they can try and get 2 runs in. We're going to get absolutely obliterated here. Now the track is in perfect condition. There we go. Everyone's going out again. And let's see how well we can improve here. Still in peak confidence. We are going to get a slipstream with Mick. I don't think Teo is. And who is it behind us? It's Magnussen, who took out Mick in the last Grand Prix. Let's not forget as well, we do have that 3-place penalty. An unjust penalty from Monaco. We were the victims, and yet we were victimised. Demonised for that penalty. Try with Teo. I'm hopeful that because Teo is slightly quicker, he will still catch up to the back of Mick. Oscar is currently flying. Now Sainz is going a little bit quicker. Max goes quickest of all in the opening sector. Norris sets a 113.1. It's a 113.0 for Piastri. Max is flying right now. Sainz goes top. Max might beat him. But it's going to be a very tight margin. Oh, he just missed out. Hulkenberg gets through into 13th. Can we get through? It's very tight here at the bottom. Very tight. Mick can't make it. Teo can. Mick is going to start from 21st.
Really slow in lap.
After that penalty, but Porsche has made it through into Q2. I think maybe just a little bit too much dirty air there for Mick Schumacher, unfortunately. I was hoping the slipstream would overcome. We know it's a lot less effective with the mod. But one down, one still kicking. All right, definitely Inters at the start of this session. We got to 94. Didn't quite get him all the way up to 100% setup, but 100% starting level confidence. So we are getting the good bonus there. And that is the bonus we're getting with Porsche for being at 100% confidence as well, or 100% prep. Let's go back to the same inters that we used in the last session. Let's do 2 laps again. Use less battery when you're in the wet. Let's check the weather. It's going to go worse, so we need to be out right now.
Green.
I think we're going to see most of the grid coming out very, very soon. Yeah, here they come. They're all piling out now. So I'm hoping that we can actually get a second lap in and improve. We might possibly have a chance of actually getting through into Q3 here. If we can get our second lap in quickly before and then get that improvement before the track starts to go up in terms of water level. And then that will prevent others from improving over us. Not all of them. Some of them are still going to improve, but I'm hopeful. Keeping my fingers crossed here.
Temperature's looking good for me. Clear ahead. Lift off.
Check back in with the water level. Still holding steady at 1.68 at the moment. We are at least quicker than Logan Sargent. we're down considerably over the top cars, to be expected. Oh, Sargent's slightly quicker than us in the middle sector. Is he close enough to get a slipstream? No, he's not. So, decent lap. Take manual control so we have a faster cool down lap, because we have got that extra change in the weather coming soon. Everyone else is going to pile into the pits at the end of their flying lap. We're going to go straight back into another flying lap. Just hope we don't hit the back of that traffic.
Copy. Copy that.
Got a yellow flag out there. Someone locking up at the hairpin. It's one of the RBs. Oh no, Hulkenberg.
Right, so this was the fourth corner. And wide they go, leaving the racing line, fighting with the car.
That's a hell of an improvement we're going to need if we're going to get through. I don't think we are, but if we can at least get above Albon, I'll be happy with that. 23.7, we found a little bit of time in the first sector. Don't know how much we're up, unfortunately. You can see the water levels going up. This is our last chance to squeeze any improvement out of this. We're into peak confidence. We found an improvement in the middle. Need a good final sector now. I don't think we're going to improve in the final sector. Got enough battery, got enough fuel, tyres are still okay. Come on, give me something. Wow, we didn't improve in the final sector. We only just improved by less than a tenth in the end, because we lost too much time at the end. That's annoying. So, that's it. We're out. There's going to be no improvement for anybody. Track's just going to get worse and worse and worse.
Copy, copy.
So let's speed time up, shall we? No one's improving. Ah, so annoying. Let me see where we lost that time. Well, we know where we lost the time, but let's see how much we lost. So we're up by almost a tenth in the first sector. We were up barely in the middle sector. The track was definitely getting worse at this point. And then we lost whatever we gained in the middle sector there. So the only improvement we basically got was that first sector. Those two sectors cancelled each other out. That's a shame. I was hoping we would have found a bit more than we did. Had we been able to complete the lap before the rain started coming, we might have been able to get ahead of Valtteri. Maybe Albon. But we certainly weren't getting through. So, 15th place, and we know that we're starting in 21st. with Mick, so I might as well just maybe look at tweaking the setup a bit more and starting from the pits. I don't know. Yuki has a penalty as well. So, let's see. Max is going to start it on pole position. Yuki qualified 6th. We'll see how big his penalty is. It's Leclerc 2nd, Sainz 3rd, Norris is 4th, Checo 5th, Tsunoda currently 6th. We'll wait to see where he shakes out. Oscar 7th, Ricciardo 8th, George 9th, Fernando in 10th. Then it's Stroll from Hulkenberg. Wow, Hamilton's out all the way down here. I didn't even realise Hamilton went out in Q1. I was looking around thinking, where's Hamilton? So Stroll 11th, Hulkenberg, Albon, Bottas, Pourchaire, Sargent, Hamilton, Mick, Pierre, Kevin, Esteban, and Joe.
"70 laps of the Canadian Grand Prix await our drivers here in Montreal."
Named after the legendary Canadian driver, the circuit Gilles Villeneuve has been host to plenty of first-time winners. Jean Alesi, Lewis Hamilton, Robert Kubica, and Daniel Ricciardo all got their maiden victories here.
With a flat-out section of over 1 kilometre in Sector 3, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is a track that asks, who dares brake last? And that means it's tough on tyres and brake temperatures the whole way round. Race day has arrived, and the time has almost come for these drivers to fight it out, wheel to wheel.
Boo. Boo. Unjust penalty. Okay, so looks like it's going to be full wets all the way through, according to our drivers. Let's have a look, shall we? Woo! Look at those spikes. We are starting on inters. It is on those conditions, but it is going to go up. I think we're definitely going to need inters at some point. Probably at the end. It might be worth a punt. We know our weather center is not accurate. It's only 45% accurate. So I don't expect these peaks to be this high. And maybe not this sustained either. I'm expecting it to be more or less on the boundary of 4 mil. So I'm just going to go one set of tyres for now. We may yet still box just to get some pit stop points. But for now, we're just going to stick to one set of wet tyres and not blitz them. We're going to take 3 laps of fuel out. Not going to push the pace. Not going to push the fuel. Not going to push the battery. Where did we go wrong? Oh, look at that. It is a 1.9, look. We're starting pretty on the back row anyway, so we may as well try and just fix this setup. There we go. I think that might well be it. We'll start from the pits. Let's take 3 laps of fuel out here as well. Not going to change any of those settings. And we're just going to play it by ear as far as strategy goes. Because I do think it's more likely to be above and below that 4 mil line throughout the Grand Prix. So, we are prepped, we are ready, we have got our chosen strategy, we have got our chosen tyres and setups. The Canadian Grand Prix is next.
Final checks are being carried out by the teams and it won't be long until we get this race underway. We look now to Esteban Ocon, who's clearly ready and raring to go.
Starting in 20th, the points are a long way off. Can they get a good start here and push for a respectable finish?
And it looks like we're good to go. This is it. We're moments away now at the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So Max holds position at the start, and it's wheel to wheel with the two Ferraris as Leclerc got the sweep around the outside. Oh, he's on the inside now. Mick has been released from the pit lane. And the track is getting drier. But it's going to go full wet very, very soon. How you doing, Esparza?
Keep me updated on conditions.
You can see the rest of the field concertinaing in the braking zones. And that's what's allowing Mick to close right back up again. Cut to Teo. Keep an eye on him. And Mick is now within a second of Zhou. See, Porsche's tyres are already starting to overheat.
Try to keep the tires cool.
Copy. Copy. Copy, copy. Copy.
Let's see if we can just punch our way through here with Mick. I don't think we can, but we'll give it a go. Getting a little weird discoloration with the spray. It almost looks like oil smoke. Yeah, we're not getting to get through, so let's just stay in control of our battery level. This is going to be quite an interesting tactical battle as far as pit stops go. I did briefly consider starting on Inters, but I figured we wouldn't make up enough ground quickly enough to actually make it worthwhile. So that's why we decided to start on full wets. But you can see how, because we've been looking after the tyres, keeping an eye on the temperatures, how they're in much better condition than everyone else is already. think we are going to see some early pit stops from others. And this is why I'm not sure whether to go for the pit stop and guarantee a chance of getting some pit stop points, because everyone else is going to have to stop. Or whether we just try and ride it out and gain track position by not boxing and just going straight to the flag. I haven't quite decided yet. We're going to wing it. Play it by ear. See if we can figure out which is going to be the right decision as the race progresses.
Try to pick up a bit more pace.
Hand down now. Try to get
Fuel
a
load
good
should come down
pace.
pretty quickly given how wet it is. So we've already saved, I think, what, 0.3, 0.4 kilos? I think we started at 4.2 kilos under, so you can say we saved half a kilo already. And there we go, we're into full wet conditions.
So let's pick up the pace.
And we know that the Haas is going to eat its tyres because it has done at every Grand Prix so far. But I'm quite surprised to see that it's Alex Albon who's actually got the worst tyres at the moment. 83%. He's been pushing very hard, it would seem. So I'm going to give Mick and Teo some battery now that we've done about 4 or 5 laps. Well, 4 laps. We're on lap 5. Let's see if we can start to close the gap back up to Valtteri. Let's see if we can move Mick forward a little bit.
If there's any chances, we need to take them.
Copy.
Yeah, copy.
I do think this is going to be determined by pit strategy, this Grand Prix. I don't see there being a lot of overtaking. At least certainly not in the lower half of the grid anyway. Oh, someone's in the wall. Logan Sargent has done Logan Sargent things.
Not entirely sure what happened, but it seems like it was Logan Sargent.
I heard a lockup, and then we heard the thump, and then the yellow flag came out.
I don't know what happened, man.
I do. Your talent ran out.
Remember the rear?
Is he going to rage? Nah, he's just going to swear. He's waiting for the rage. Rah! How many times have we heard Logan Sargent do that?
The car is on the wall. He looks okay. Watch for debris.
So let's take a look at the weather. Yeah, it's not going to enter us anytime soon.
0.
Iceland coming through TS2. Yes, I saw that. I saw that trailer earlier today, about an hour before I went live. Now available to wishlist on Steam, apparently. Evening, Bill.
Copy.
Lewis Hamilton still down in 17th place, where he started. Might have the chance to make a run on Gasly on the restart now that Logan Sargent is out of the way. Mick's still at the back of the field. I could have taken even more fuel out of the car at the start here. Probably should have.
VSC ending.
Full focus on one of the front tire.
There we go. We are off and racing again.
Copy, copy.
Oh, and Russell's got a fault.
Can we check upshifts?
Gearbox issues developing for George Russell. Track is getting wetter. Wonder how wet it is going to go. Are we going to go all the way to like 7-8 mil today?
Right
Magnussen
then,
running
we can
wide.
Take a look now. Now we're just proceeding through turn 4. And that's where they slightly run off the track. That won't do the floor of the car any good at all.
Right, so we are closing in on Joe. I'm actually going to give us a little bit more tyre just to see if we can get this move done.
The main thing is the warm-up on this tire, okay?
And a bit more oomph there as well.
Copy.
Need to get the tyres back into the temperature window.
So get these tires back up to 10.
Copy.
So let's keep an eye on the sectors, see if we can see if we're gaining anywhere in particular. Not by a lot. Not enough to get an overtake done, that's for sure. So we now have two choices. We can either try and tough it out and go to the flag, or we can try for an undercut. Just hammer the tyres, box early, and try and get some undercutting done. And I think with Mick, that's probably the way we're going to have to go.
Close the gap.
But with Teo, I think I am going to try and tough it out.
Tires are good, mate.
Pushing the tyres like this is definitely giving us more pace than Joe. Even in harvest mode, we are still right on him. So we can get some more battery in the car and then just try and punch our way through by driving very, very hard on the tyres. Get that undercut. And then try and get out in front of other drivers. You can see they are definitely going to have to stop at some point, I think. I'm pushing Porsche's tyres just to try and get them in the window. Once they're in the window, I'll see if I can ease them off. Got a big spike of water coming soon. That is going to go up to like 7-8 mil. We are going to have a very brief inter window. I might box
Gap 09.
when we hit that inter window, ready for that big push of water. I don't know yet. Alright, tyres are up to temp again. Can we keep them in the window?
Copy.
Definitely got a chance to get a move done on Joe now. This is the closest we've been. Just not happening, is it? We are running an older chassis as well for Mick, because we only have one of the new chassis left after Monaco. And that's certainly not helping. But it's not looking like we're going to get through anytime soon. And that's it, we're out of battery again.
Copy. Copy. Yeah, copy.
Check back in with Teo. Falling further behind the front runners because we're lapping below pace, but we're keeping Gasly at arm's length. He's not closing in on us. Hamilton is still stuck behind him as well, so we're not the only ones who are struggling. In fact, apart from Leclerc getting past Sainz, I don't think anyone's actually made any overtakes. George is at one place. Albon's at one place. Hulkenberg's down one place. Those two have switched. Gasly's up 2. Ocon's up 2. We're both up 1 each. That's because of Logan Sargent. Gasly running wide. Has that opened up a window for Hamilton? Can't get the move done, look. New fastest lap for Max Verstappen on 127.2.
Easy, mate, easy.
Copy. Copy.
And still absolutely no forward movement for Hamilton. Still stuck here behind Zhou. He's left lapping slower than Magnussen, so that gap's increasing and we are just being frustrated here.
Copy. Copy.
Just need to try and catch him at the right time. Punch through. Another new fastest lap, this time for Charles Leclerc, 126.2. All right, come on, Mick. Hamilton has got clear of Gasly, and now he's already starting to pull away pretty quickly. This is the closest we've been to an overtaking opportunity, and it's just still not there. The car just is not good enough to overcome the dirty air effect. I know we can go faster. We just need to get into that cleaner air. See if we can outbrake him.
Copy.
Nope.
Yeah, copy. Copy. Copy.
We're going to have to just go for it, go for an undercut. It's the only way we're going to move him forward. We're about to get some big weather again. Track is still drying up at the moment though. Hamilton's closing in on us. There he is. We should be able to hold him back.
how are the tires?
Good, it's okay.
Still, the track is drying. Ah, there we go. Now it's going up. Now it's going back up.
Box now, push to box.
Copy the box.
One more lap so we can do a little bit of fuel saving and continue to harvest a bit more battery again, and then we'll dive into the pits, put on a fresh set of wets, get a big undercut, and hopefully when everyone else starts to think about pitting, we will have made up a few positions here. Because right now, I'm not really sure what else we can do. Nothing is working at the moment. Car just isn't good enough.
Copy. Okay, copy.
Neither driver has been able to make an overtake, and neither driver's even looked remotely like being able to make an overtake. One more lap. I know I was going to box this lap, but we'll go one more lap.
Box.
Copy, box.
I think we need to start getting a little bit quicker.
Yeah, no shit. So, can we make this work?
Cool down.
Copy. Pit entry. Copy.
Moment of truth time. Ah, it's not a good stop. God damn it.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry.
Wow.
All right, so moment of truth. Can we make this work? We've been stuck doing Joe's lap times. Let's see if we can start lapping quicker than Joe. If we can't, then yeah, this is going to be a very, very, very painful Grand Prix.
Copy.
Any good pace?
Other reason I didn't want to wait too long as well is I didn't want to get lapped. As Russell's gearbox gets even worse.
Downshift 7 to 6 Downpour.
So the gap is about 20 seconds. Tyres not up to temperature yet.
Copy.
Let's go for a push lap. We're not too far behind Alonso and Stroll at the moment. We have enough of a gap that we would undercut them, I think, if they were to box. Or no, we would get out. They would come out behind us, or behind Porsche if he were to box. Yeah, if they boxed and we stayed out, which is the plan with Teo, is to keep them out there as long as is possible. Maybe switch to a set of inters at the end. Get that track position. We're going to see if we can steal another point like we did at Monaco. Tyres still not in the window. Gap not really improving at the moment. It's improved by about 0.3. There we go. There's a bit of extra time. With cold tyres, but with battery, so we have to take that into consideration. For the 131.9, it's quicker than most people, but with the tyres still slow, it's still cold. There's definitely more pace to go in the Sam. Your Xbox died. What version of Xbox was it?
Copy.
Oh, an S. Oh, yeah. You'll have a much better experience on the PS5 with the game then. I mean, it'll... it still won't look amazing compared to what you can do with the PC with some mods, but it should look and run a little bit better. All right, 131.7 against a 132.9. Mick has definitely taken some time out of Joe. Porsche actually starting to close in a little bit on Valtteri. I wonder if that's down to tyres. Still losing a little bit of time to Alonso. That gap is now 16 seconds. When it gets above 18 seconds, that's when the pit window becomes viable for the Astons. Let's check in with Teo. Yeah, we are definitely closing in on Valtteri. Gap down to just 2.5 seconds. We were 4.5, 5 seconds behind him earlier. And Mick is continuing to close. Took another 0.8 of a second out of Joe on that lap. So he's now inside Joe's pit window. So we've managed to undercut Joe as things currently stand. Oh, was that someone in the wall? It sounded like I just heard a thump. Apparently not. Apparently not. That would be probably a really bad thing now, as if we got a VSC, because I think most of these guys would then probably jump in the pits with a fresh set of wets on. And then come out still ahead of Teo.
Copy.
Gap keeps coming down. We took almost a second out of Joe on that last lap. It's still going to keep getting wetter, apparently. There we go, a full second out of Joe on that lap. And more importantly, a full second out of Magnussen as well, and almost a full second out of Ocon, 0.6 of a second out of Gasly. So we're starting to close in on the cars in front of us. We don't have an undercut on Magnussen yet, but we're not too far away from that. We're getting closer with every lap. Tyres are now in the window, so that should help pick the pace up a little bit more as well.
Okay.
But we are getting closer and closer to getting lapped. There's Verstappen.
Tires
Oh,
are okay.
big fault for Magnussen. That's come out of nowhere. What is that, battery or gearbox?
But it looks like they're carrying some kind of fault.
Crofty's not going to tell me. You're a dick, Crofty. Took 1.5 seconds out of show on that last lap, but still, we're not making enough progress. All right, we're getting close to crossing the line. What is the issue with Magnussen? It is battery. So while he still has some, it won't be a major issue, but I think it's going to affect either his output or his harvesting. And I think hopefully it's his harvesting. So when he runs out, it's going to take him an eternity to actually try and get any battery back in that car, which will hurt him a bit, but not as much as it could do, given the conditions. He's quite lucky to get a battery issue in these conditions. It's used a lot less battery. Water level is starting to spike again. We can see that this is now looking very different to what was predicted. It was supposed to be up here and flat all the way across there. Which makes me think we are definitely going to have to hit inters at some point. Porsche has taken more time out of Valtteri. The gap's now just 1.5 seconds. We are getting closer and closer to actually being able to consider trying to overtake him.
Temperatures are okay.
Copy.
We'll have to push mixed tyres a little bit more because we're getting closer and closer to potential pit stops now. So I need to keep those tyres in the window and keep that pace rapid so that we do get those undercuts. Otherwise, this has all been for nothing. It's a very different race that I've ever experienced before. Very different to anything I've had to experience before, where we've just had enough pace to be able to go forward but been completely unable to get any kind of overtake done. I am really enjoying the realistic racing mod. It's changing the dynamic of this game so much. And there are some tracks where it's going to have a massive impact, like here in these conditions. But there are likewise going to be other tracks where it's probably not going to have that much of an impact. A little bit. But nothing like this extreme. And this is good. I like the fact that we have this kind of extreme situation here. Because this is kind of realistic. This is kind of how it shakes out in real Grand Prix. There we go. We're finally starting to make the progress we need to on the cars in front of us with Mick. A 131.8 against a 33.4, a 32.9, a 33.0, 32.9. They're the cars we're trying to undercut. Joe is a given now, and we're just about where we need to be to undercut Magnussen. It's going to be very close.
Copy.
Getting ready to try and make that run at Valtteri.
The tires are now in the window. Come on.
Copy.
There's the race leaders. Really don't want to get blue flagged. Not when we're actually making all this time up. We're still lapping nearly a second slower than the race leaders. And they are just inching closer and closer to us. But we're just 9 seconds behind Joe now. So we're about 16.5 seconds behind Magnussen. So we've got Magnussen and we've got Ocon. We're almost about to get Gasly as well. Now it's a question of when they stop. I think the Ferraris are staying out. I think they're going to go all the way. I don't know about some of these guys. I'd like to think that Albon and Hulkenberg are going to have to box. Maybe Valtteri as well. Maybe the Astons. What's the gap to the Astons now? Ugh, it's 18 seconds to Stroll. It's 20 seconds to Alonso. That is borderline Alonso getting back out in front of us.
Copy, copy.
Let's see if we can put some pressure on Valtteri. If we can get if we can just get an overtake, that will give us extra confidence and pick our pace up. Our stats are like this at the moment. We don't want that. That's... Where is... There we go. So that's my stats at the moment. If we can get an overtake, we'll be adding +2 on all of those. We might end up in the same situation we were with Schumacher, where he gets close and then can't go any further.
Copy, copy. Copy.
It should be in the corners where we make the most time. So maybe here at the end of the first sector we might have a chance of a lunge. Don't think we're close enough. No, we're not close enough. Sun pokes its head out through the clouds. Oh, no, no, no!
Struggle a bit with front looking, guys.
Shit!
Yeah, no worries.
Teo is out, isn't he? Major chassis damage. Car must retire. Front wing is screwed. Ugh, God damn it. At least the powertrain didn't take a whack. But everyone's diving into the pits. So my Mick strategy is in trouble. Ah, God damn it.
What?
Yeah, sorry, Valtteri. That's a penalty.
And not much that the team can do about that one.
So we're both out. And now everyone is going to get that undercut.
Safety car.
It's going to be, you know, we're going to lose that undercut that we worked so hard to try and get.
Keep working, keep working.
What a disaster. What an absolute disaster. And that's just ruined my race completely. The only car I am going to beat out the pits, I think, is going to be Zhou. Oh, maybe. Ah, of course, because Magnussen and Ocon had to stack. So we have still managed to get an undercut on some guys, just not as many as I would have hoped. We were hoping to get in front of Gasly as well. If we'd been able to clear him, we could have then been in a decent position to maybe have a run at Hamilton after the restart. But tyres aren't too bad. 90% against 90 and 99. So we've got a mixture, actually. Alonso, who we were hoping to try and get an undercut on with Porsche, or, you know, stay out in front of Porsche. Has he even stopped? Yes, he has. But he's put on some very used wets. Ocon's put on used wets. So is Magnussen. So is Hamilton. Stroll. I think Norris. No, Norris has got used wets as well, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. Albon and Hulkenberg have definitely had brand new wets, as has Gasly. Damp track. At least we've avoided getting lapped. And we are where we need to be to fulfill the sponsor requirements with Schumacher, but once again, we're only going to get half money because no Porsche finishing. We now got another big repair bill to replace parts that we already don't have replacements for. Yeah, we're going to struggle in the next race. Next few races, I think, because just a backlog of trying to get stuff built.
driving.
Copy.
Right, safety car's now picking up the race leaders. Train is starting to form. So thanks to pushing, we did manage to get Schumacher to get an undercut on a few guys. It would have been better. We would have been ahead of Gasly had he stopped under normal conditions. So we would have been off to P15. Porsche, if he was still running and we were running in normal conditions, not under a safety car, would have at least probably jumped Albon, got up to 12th, maybe Stroll. But it's all out the window now. We're down to just one car. We've got unpredictable weather in the forecast. You can see it's staying damp for a bit, then it's going to get very wet again by the time the safety car comes back in. And then it's going to get very dry again, or, well, not very dry. It's going to get closer to inter territory again. That might be a sustained period, but I don't think it will be sustained enough. And then we potentially got a spike back into full wets at the end. But again, our forecast accuracy, only 45%. We're at level 1, and our sponsors are using our weather centre to take it down an extra 15%, from 60 down to 45. So it's not ideal. On the positive side, we're saving a lot of fuel, so we can be a lot more aggressive with fuel for the rest of the race. But we do now have worse tyres than the cars we're chasing. We're at the halfway point as well. Still another another half a race to go. Another half a race of torturous not being able to overtake. It's almost like we're at Monaco. So who has actually been able to move up or move down? Oscar's got ahead of Checo. George is ahead of Ricardo, but we already knew that. And here you can see Mick's made some progress from starting in the pit lane. 3 of those positions are down to retirements. These guys have made position gains from retirements. Hamilton has actually pulled off an overtake. He got past Pierre Gasly. There's very little movement.
Yeah, safety car in this lap. We need to be ready.
Copy.
Oh, Teo suffers in more than just the first season because he's so aggressive. So he is want to make unnecessary lunges or lockups as a result.
Copy. Copy.
So now we have to try and maintain position if we can. Oh my God, we immediately get lunged by Magnussen. Come on, fight him off.
Okay.
Good job.
Fight him off, fight him off. There we go. That counts as an overtake because he technically got overtaken. So we've now got some extra confidence points. We're +4s and +3. That'll help. We can get another one of those. we'll be quids in for a bit.
Copy.
I'm wondering whether maybe I should have boxed for a set of enters. We could be clearing up at this point, but we would still have to box
Gap 09.
and put the wets back on again. Look how much the water level's falling. If we'd boxed for inters, we'd be flying right now. But we would also have been starting the restart from the back of the grid. And sooner or later that water level is going to start to go back up again. Right now I'm just going to try and manage the temperatures as best as possible without leaving myself vulnerable to a lunge, like we almost got lunged on the first lap.
Gap 07. Come on.
And there we go, water level's going back up again. So yeah, that window for inters, not great. Fault for K-Mag. I didn't see that one pop up. Did I? Oh no, I did. That was battery. George has still got that dodgy gearbox.
Gap 06. It's a long race, come on.
Temps are still climbing. But look at Magnussen's tyres. They were the same as ours on the restart. And he's already 5% worse than we are. Oh, an issue for Russell. Is that something on top of his gearbox? Has to be.
I had no torque in listening to the PU.
An engine issue as well, by the sound of it. We'll wait till the end of the lap and then we'll take a little look-see.
Gap 09. Nothing we can do, so forget about it.
I know I'm dropping off the back of Gasly, but I'm still making sure that our tyre temps come down quickly.
Gap 1.0. Head down, eyes forward.
I don't think Magnussen's a threat. I think that was his one chance on the restart, and his battery's gone, and his tyres are going already. So I think we're safe from Magnussen. Zhou has a little issue cutting the chicane at turn 4.
Right, let's have a look as we go into turn 4. Oh, and they need to be watching those track limits.
I mean, this is another lap that's still okay for Inters, but the wets are definitely coming back into a good window.
Gap 1.1.
So they certainly wouldn't be anywhere near as effective at 3.6, 3.7 mil. The margin over the wets would be much, much smaller. So it would be at this point that I would be, if I was on Inters, that I would be boxing for full wets. Because it's going to be full wets by the time we get around to the pit lane again next lap.
Yeah, copy.
Try to keep going.
Copy.
See if we can maybe sneak back up onto Gasly now that he's dropped away a little bit from Hamilton. Gasly's very crafty with his tyres, so we're not going to be saving tyres really over Pierre. Not much. Maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, but nothing like over Magnussen and co.
Hand down now, try to get a good pace. Gap 1.4. Get on the rhythm, come on.
And I bet all that extra confidence we got bled away again. Yep, back to starting level again. And again, this just reiterates why it's so important to get your drivers as, up to 100% prep, because confidence bleeds away so quickly, especially in the first year of your driver-mechanic relationship. This is why I'm a little hesitant about swapping out both of my engineers next season. Just simply because it means we'd have to restart that process all over again. But if we're getting a better engineer, might be worth doing it.
It's coming to us.
Yeah.
So let's have a quick look at the front. Max still leads. Leclerc is within a second in second place, and it's Sainz in third. Norris is fourth. Oscar in fifth. George still in sixth. Ricardo is seventh. Tsunoda's eighth. Perez is down to ninth place. Then it's Alonso in 10th. Stroll 11th. Albon in 12th. 13th for Nico Hulkenberg. 14th for Lewis Hamilton. 15th for Gasly. 16th for Mick, who's now just about inside that 1 second window for Gasly. Then Magnussen, Ocon, Zhou, and 3 retirements so far: Valtteri, Pourchaire, and Sargent. 43 laps down. It'll be 17 laps to go at the end of this lap. Sorry, 27 laps to go at the end of this lap. And you can see the visibility is atrocious.
Gap 09. Eyes forward, clean driving, come on.
Let's, damn it, I pressed the wrong button. Let's get a thumbnail. There we go, that's pretty good. Take one more.
Gap 09, 09. We need to focus on going forward now.
Ah, that was the shot. And then it changed just as I hit the space
Gap
bar.
1.0. Let's go, come on. Eyes forward, come on.
Let's try and get one here. There we go. That's pretty good looking. All right, back to racing.
Copy.
We need to pass him. We are much faster than him, come on.
We are quicker than him, but I don't think we're massively quicker than him. And I don't know if it's going to be quick enough to actually get past him.
Come on.
Well, yeah, right. It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
We forgot to check with Russell, didn't we? Is that a retirement fault, or is it just an escalation of the other one? I think it's just an escalation of the other one. Yeah, so engine and gearbox now both orange. His engine's at 117 degrees. It's overheating. And he's in clean air, so he's got a major cooling issue with the car at the moment.
Gap 1.0. No looking in the mirrors. Full focus ahead. Come on.
Copy.
We're back to where we were at the beginning. Just have the pace to go quicker, just not enough pace to actually get into position to go quicker. Please don't lock up like Teo did. I think I might be out of battery. Yeah, there we go.
Copy.
Yeah. It's so frustrating. We know we can go quicker than this, but we just can't go quick enough to get that overtake done to go quicker. We can't overcome the dirty air. It's too powerful here for us with our car in such a crappy condition. So now I'm going to have to just watch the weather and take a gamble on inters, I think.
Eyes forward always, eyes forward.
But I can't shred these tyres because we're going to need to put these back on again, I think. Look how much these guys are pushed.
How are the
These guys have brand new tyres.
Good, it's okay.
And it's only Norris who has better tyres than me on the grid now. Oh, and Hulkenberg, weirdly.
gap 1.4?
Eyes forward, really important.
Switching onto inters is still a huge risk.
Eyes forward, come on.
The window might not be big enough for us to make enough time to A, claw back that first pit stop, and B, counteract the effects of a second pit stop to go back onto wets if we need to. But the only thing we need to do is just get ahead of Ocon. And if George ends up retiring, which is not impossible, given that we still have another 22 laps to go after this one, then we would only need to get ahead of Joe to make sure that we are fulfilling our sponsor objectives. In fact, no, we only need to get ahead of Joe now, and if Russell retires, we can finish last and still fulfill the sponsor objectives. I worked that out wrong. Is this going to be a long enough window? I think it is. I think this is going to be a long enough window to make the inters potentially work. I'm kind of hoping it is. Look how quickly it's dried out. This was supposed to be another big spike and it's over already. Maybe this will be similar. Sun's coming out again. I'm going to box this lap. Brand new set of inters. Let's go.
Block now.
Copy. Box this up.
If we can get a really good stop here, we could potentially actually get maximum pit stop points. Oh no, wait, it was a safety car, wasn't it? Not a red flag. Yeah, ignore that. Oh, come on. Another bad stop. Again.
Oh,
Sorry.
Don't be
And
sorry,
who's
be
that
better.
having an issue in the pits? Over to you, Karun.
Now Mick Schumacher had swung in. Ah, the rear right won't go on.
Yeah, same as last time, that right rear. So we're about to hit the inter conditions. There we go. Now we need to really kind of book it. And hope we've got enough pace
The main thing is the
So-
warm-up on this tire, okay?
really claw in that gap quickly, and then be able to get those overtakes in. We need the overtakes to get the confidence up to improve the pace even more. We can't get the overtakes in. This is a complete waste of time.
Copy.
I'm banking on two things. I'm banking on the water level getting, well, three things. Banking on the water level getting really low so that the wets drop out of their window substantially in terms of pace. It's also going to push their tyre wear right up because they're going to overheat massively, and that we're going to be able to just cruise past them. If we can get onto them and it gets dry enough, they will automatically just pull over like they're being blue flagged and let us through.
Tires are okay.
Copy.
Problem for Stroll.
Engine feels quite down.
So we should already now, with the track at 3.3, should be significantly quicker per lap. It's going to keep getting drier. Pace is going to keep coming to us. How long is this window going to be? Is it going to be long enough? And then can we survive a little spike of wet weather later?
Copy.
We were the quickest car on track last lap. Oh, no, we weren't. Not quite. Charles, slightly quicker than us, but he's the only one who was quicker than us that last lap. Chase is on.
Big push now.
Again, it's the corners where we're going to make up the time, not really on the straights. We'll make up a little bit because we'll be getting a better exit out of the corners and we won't have dirty air to contend with, but it's mainly going to be through the corners that we're going to make up the time. So sector 1, we should be massively quicker. Sector 3, we should get a decent bit of extra time because it's that big heavy braking zone at the hairpin and then the launch out of said hairpin and then the chicane as well at the end of the casino straight. I I don't expect us to make massive gains from the middle sector because they're quite fast sweeping corners. But it's mainly just flat out on the straights with a quick chicane. New fastest lap for Lando. Tyres definitely in the ascendancy here. We're doing like a 124.5 at the moment. All depending on what this final sector is going to be. But we should be mid to high 124s on this lap. And Russell's out.
No power, no gears.
His gearbox has given up. He'll retire. And we can afford to finish last now. And still achieve our sponsor goals. So it's now just a question of, look at that, 124.7. It's now a question of whether we can actually make them any additional places. Keep the board happy. What is the gap? Gap is just 9 seconds. And falling quickly. The track is definitely coming to us. We took 2 seconds out of Zhou on that last lap. And there we go. George retires. And we are now safe to be able to finish in 18th no matter what happens. Unless we retire.
Sick.
And look at the remaining tyre wear on these guys. We set the fastest lap. We just went 3.3 seconds quicker than Zhou on that lap. We were almost a second quicker than race leader Max Verstappen on that lap. And there was no battery involved in that. Let's push the battery this lap as well. Let's see if we can at least take the fastest lap just for shits and giggles. We won't get a point for it. How fast can we make it? We've already gone purple again in the first. This is going to help get our confidence up as well with personal best sectors and fastest laps. We're flying. We can see Zhou. And still the water level's falling. We're going to be mighty fast on this lap.
Copy.
123.0. That should be the fastest lap secured.
Copy.
How can we fly past these guys like they're not even there?
Come on.
We've just gone even quicker in the first sector again. Without battery. Look at this. We're through. We've actually overtaken someone. Woo!
Bravo, let's go, come on.
We're in peak confidence. We're going to nail Ocon
Gap
here.
1.1.
Look how much extra traction we're getting out of the corners. Still, the track is getting drier. How much pace can we extract out of these tyres before we have to consider switching back to wets? We were 4.7 seconds quicker than Ocon on that lap. We were 4.4 seconds quicker than Magnussen. There is K-Mag. Track is still getting drier.
Gap 1.6.
Just looking
This
at
was a Hail Mary play, but we had to try something because we weren't going to get any kind of movement. The track's now getting wetter again. But we still have a window where we can be blisteringly quick. Let's take a look at the weather forecast. It does say it's going to go wet again, but how long is it going to be wet? How wet is it going to be as well? Is it something that we can try and ride out? Laps to go. And we are still lapping over 5 seconds quicker than a lap than Joe. So I think regardless of how this plays out, we are beating Joe. And we're probably going to beat Ocon as well at this rate. We set another new fastest lap, 122.8. Track is definitely getting wetter quicker. Then it got drier. Our advantage is slipping.
Head down, come on, head down.
That's 14th. 124.6. So yeah, we're definitely losing pace.
Good job.
We're 11 seconds clear of Zhou. These guys' tyres are really falling to bits. We're still in a good window to make these tyres work, but the amount of pace we're going to gain is significantly less now. I am tempted to see if we can ride it out on these tyres, you know. I don't think we'll be able to. I think it's too much heavy rain. Maybe one more lap before we have to box. Or do we just stay out and hope at this point? We've got track position. We've got much more grip. That's not going to count for too much if it gets too wet. We're still into favoured conditions, but now not by much. 125.1 to 126.9 for Hamilton. We are closing that gap. 1:27.2 for Gasly. We're 2.1 seconds quicker. Track's still dry, still getting worse. But we are still finding time over everyone else. We've got a yellow flag. Now this goes to a VSC. Something big happened to Leclerc, and he's hit it at the beginning of the lap.
And it was involving Leclerc this time.
He did it at
All right so far.
the Wall of Champions chicane.
And they ended up their own passenger.
He clipped the wall, rejoining the track. He's got to do a full lap
There's a big crash.
with some significant damage. Here you see it. He'll clip this wall here, look. Car just sliding as he tried to rejoin. That's a disaster for Leclerc. I was hoping he would throw a VSC or a safety car there, and we could have jumped in and put on some wets on a reduced pit stop. That hasn't worked. But it's killed any chance he had of a podium. Look at his tyres as well. He may yet even puncture. We're now just 3.5 seconds behind Lewis Hamilton and Hülkenberg. Hamilton has got ahead of Hülkenberg. The tyres are almost dead. 10 laps to go. We're still just favouring
Gap
Inters.
3.5 seconds.
They got.
How far off points are we? Stroll runs wide, cuts the chicane.
Right, so this was the fourth corner. Just a bit too wide at that point, but all being well and fingers crossed, no lasting damage to the car.
Shame. So, Stroll is only 8 seconds ahead of us. 8.5 seconds ahead. And again, with dying tyres. This is looking a little bit more survivable. We're still going to be slower than everyone on the wets. If we box now, we're going to give up quite a bit of track position again. We're going to probably drop out just behind Joe and Ocon. I think we have to stay out at this point and just trust that we can get through the remaining 8 laps, 9 laps. And hope that our extra grip will compensate for them being the wrong compound of tyre. .128.7. Yeah, we're going to get slower than that. Considering how long Mick has spent at the back of the grid in this Grand Prix, just unable to get any moves going forward. Trying to hang on to 14th is going to be a valiant effort. And we're down a 10th in the opening sector. Oh, Leclerc's punctured. And he's done it right at the beginning of the lap. I did say there was a real risk he might puncture, and there it is. Coming off the curb, he punctures at the start of the lap. He's going to go out behind us. We're going to move up to 13th. This is crazy. Despite being on the wrong compound of tyres, we lost half a second to Hülkenberg there. Gasly is definitely closing in. Water level's still going up before it holds steady. I really don't want to have to box. We are going to undo quite a bit of the hard work we've done to get to 14th. We're 16 seconds ahead of Joe. Gasly's going to get us. I think he's closing in very quickly. Track is still getting worse. We have to box. We have to. I really didn't want to, but we have to. We can go flat out on those tyres.
Copy for box.
We should be able to get back in front of Joe and Ocon, and then maybe we can get Magnussen at the very end. Leclerc has made it back to the pits before we got there. Are they going to change his front wing as well? No, they're not.
Box.
Through goes Gasly. One last roll of the dice for a decent pit stop. Come on. There we go. We've got a clean stop.
Watch out the line.
There's Joe. So we're right behind him. We've got a little bit of battery, but we've got much, much better tyres. It's all-out attack from this point.
Gap 1.5 behind. 7 laps to go.
How are the tires?
Good, it's okay.
And still the track is getting worse. Yeah, we would be getting absolutely blitzed if we'd stayed out on the inters. It's a shame. I was hoping we could make it, make it work, stay on the inters, but we would have lost out to Leclerc and Gasly and probably even Magnussen, maybe even Ocon and Joe. I don't know about those two, but the amount of time we would have lost per lap would be probably pretty similar to the amount we were gaining per lap. To a degree, because the inters are much worse going above 4 than the wets are below 4. So we have 6 laps to just go absolutely crazy. Try and get some overtakes in. Confidence is still pretty high. It's ebbing away.
The tires are now in the window. Come on.
And again, it's going to be the corners where we make up the time in those braking zones and acceleration zones.
Copy.
Just like that.
Copy.
Mick back into peak confidence again.
Have a good job.
Copy. Copy.
This should max us out on confidence, this overtake.
5 to go.
Copy.
Not quite close enough there.
Copy.
Got to get in here
Okay.
into turn 6.
Copy.
There we go. We're through.
Copy.
And that is fully maxed out confidence. +6 and +7.
Really good job.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, Evening, Wayne.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Right, let's follow the action now at turn 7. They decide to give it a go. And that's 16th place now.
How much quicker can we go? Can we catch Magnussen? Does have that battery problem. Oh my god, look at the track. Are you kidding me? It's coming down. We could have stayed out like that. We'd have lost a place or two, but we could have stayed out and then maybe claw the place back. At least this was a guarantee of getting some pace and overtakes. Maybe getting back up towards 14th, 15th. Tell you what though, what this does do is if it does go dry in the last couple of laps, it does increase the risk of punctures for Hamilton, Hülkenberg, Magnussen, Ocon, Tsunoda, Perez, who's already at 30%, Alonso, who's at 27%. There could yet still be some positions up for grabs. Track needs to dry up more than this, a lot more than this. I don't think it's going to. But 3 laps to go when we cross the line.
Three laps to go.
There we go. It's damp. So tyre temps will start to go up. We've got plenty of rubber. We can afford to let our tyres melt over the last 2.5 laps. Nobody else can. Max is at risk of a puncture. Sainz gets the overtake. Norris is going to jump him as well, I think. Max is suddenly falling away quite dramatically here. He does not have any grip left to fight. And a racer he has been so comfortable in is slipping through his fingers. Meanwhile, we're just 2 seconds behind Magnussen.
To go.
And again, it's going to be the corners that hurt him. And at 27%, there is a very real risk of a puncture off one of these exit curbs. Same for Alonso here. 1 lap to go. He's under immense pressure from Alex Albon here. He still has to go down the casino straight before he even starts his final lap.
Understood.
Norris is all over the back of Verstappen and he makes the lunge and Norris gets through. And Piastri's going to get him as well, I think.
Gap 03. Come on, eyes forward, come on.
Copy.
We start our final lap with Schumacher.
Last lap, last lap.
We do get through on Magnussen. Max is just about going to hold off Piastri. But he has to settle for third in the end. Piastri got fourth place.
And Sainz crosses the line first. He's taken the win. There we go. It's a win for Sainz.
Honestly, even their harshest critic would be hard-pressed to say that they didn't thoroughly deserve that win.
That's going to change things up at the top of the driver's standings again. Sainz might take the lead back from Norris. No one's getting the bonus point for the fastest lap because we stole it when we were on those inters earlier. We are going to have to settle for 15th place. But we've left Magnussen for dead. All in all, considering the nightmare race that we've had, I'm pretty happy with 15th place. Oh, it's a fault for Stroll.
Engine feels quite down.
Is that an engine retirement on the very last lap? No, he does cross the line. He will take 7th place. Damn. I was hoping for another retirement just to give us another position. Here comes Schumacher through the final chicane. Avoids the wall of champions that his father hit many, many years ago.
It's the end of the race.
And will take 15th place. With the fastest lap to boot. Hopefully that will satisfy the board.
Sometimes I think you just have to accept that it's not going to be your race.
That was a bitterly disappointing retirement. The team certainly wouldn't have wanted their race to end this way.
And with that, the Sainz name remains engraved in F1 history.
That's their second win of the season. A brilliant talent who looks so at home on the track.
Plenty of smiles for the cameras as the drivers can let off some steam here in Montreal. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there, though.
And that's it for this weekend's F1 action here in Montreal.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
Okay, confirmation then of the final results of the Grand Prix. It is Carlos Sainz taking the win. That's his second win of the season. Lando Norris gets second place. Max in third. Oscar fourth. It's fifth place for Daniel Ricciardo. And sixth for Yuki Tsunoda. What a great weekend for RB. Another 18 points for them. Stroll gets 4 points in his... gets 6 points. Up 4 places in his home Grand Prix to take 7th. Perez down into 8th in the end, 9th for Fernando Alonso. Albon does get into the points, and that's will pull them level with us, but we should still be top because we had a 9th place finish, not 2 10th place finishes. I hope. Up 6 places and finishing in 11th for Lewis Hamilton. Down 10 places and out of the points for Charles Leclerc. That's a hammer blow for his championship challenge. Down in 13th is Nico Hülkenberg. Gasly finishes in 14th. Mick up to 15th, up 7 places from his pit lane start. And a very, very topsy-turvy Grand Prix for Mick, who also claimed the fastest lap by quite some distance in the end. Magnussen 16th, 17th for Ocon, 18th for Zhou, and then 4 retirements. George having to retire with a busted gearbox. Valtteri and Pourchaire having a coming together. Pourchaire very much at fault for that, locking up and taking both of them out at the hairpin. And an early VSC for Logan Sargent when he crashed his car, which kind of screwed over Mick initially, and certainly screwed over Teo as well. Into the driver's standings, and Sainz has moved top of the driver's standings by 2 points from Lando Norris. Very, very tight at the top. There is Charles Leclerc. He's losing a little bit of ground. Max is closing in on him, and he is slipping behind his teammate and behind Norris. He's down on 155 points in third, 139 points in fourth for Max. Then it's Oscar with 83 in fifth. Perez is 67. No points for George. He stays 7th with 56 points. No change for him at all today. Then it's Lance Stroll in 8th. 9th is Yuki Tsunoda, just 2 points behind Stroll. And Ricciardo is up into the top 10 with 22 points, 10 points earned today. He jumps over Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. Alonso is now just 2 points behind Hamilton as well. Then it's Teo Pourchaire in 13th with 2 points. Alex Albon in 14th now also joins him on 2 points. 15th place for Valtteri with a point. And then the non-scorers. Mick is 16th, 17th for Hülkenberg, 18th for Ocon. Gasly moves above Logan Sargent into 19th. Magnus is still 21st and Zhou remains 22nd. Let's take a look at the pit stops. We made it on the board, look. We actually got a couple of points. Lovely stuff. Good weekend for Ferrari, 25 points for them. Big result for McLaren, though. They are on 30 points gain, so they are still nibbling away at Ferrari's heels. Red Bull losing a little bit more ground. They're now 56 points behind McLaren. Then it's Mercedes. No points for them this weekend. 74 for them still. RB making moves up the table again. They're up into 5th place now, jumping over Aston Martin by 4 points, and are now just 19 points behind Mercedes. We stay in 7th. Yeah, we stay 7th, but we get our first points of the season. Williams in 8th. We've jumped up above Williams, but Williams have also jumped up above Sauber. Not quite sure how it's not showing us as gaining. That's weird. Sauber stay where they are in 9th. It's 10th place for Haas, 11th for Alpine. We are off the mark. We have points. Lovely stuff. There you see a summary of those fastest times. Oh, no, wait. We didn't get points today, so I just went straight to the overall pit stops, didn't I? Yeah. Silly. Why did it say we had +2 then? I didn't. Yeah, so we missed. No, wait, hang on. I was looking at the constructor standings, not the pit stop points. Whoops. Okay, here's the pit stops. Fastest stop for McLaren. Ferrari get 2 of the top 10 in 2nd and 8th. Mercedes in 3rd and 7th, so some decent points for Mercedes today. Again, really good points for RB, picking up 18 points there. Alonso gets 6 points, and Stroll gets a point as well to make it 9 for Aston. Red Bull do get a couple of points in 9th, but we miss out, unfortunately. So this is the pit stop standings. McLaren are top and stretching away a little bit from Ferrari, who have leapt over Red Bull. They drop down into 3rd. McLaren are 4th. RB up into 5th place, jumping Aston, who've also jumped over Alpine. Williams are in 8th place, 9th for Sauber, 10th for us on 18 points. Haas still bottom with 10. And there you see our stops. No stop for Pourchaire because of his retirement, and then 2 terrible stops for Mick, and then an okay stop that only just missed out. It was a 2.64 against a 2.63 So yeah, we just missed out by 100th of a second. Frustrating. 452k is added to the bank balance. Let's head back and survey the damage, shall we? Porsche's gone up by a rating point. I'm not quite sure how, considering what he did. Into the inbox. Let's see the damage. We've broken an underfloor. Well, 2 underfloors have failed. That's not good. Oh, my God. Another chassis and another front wing destroyed. But at least no powertrain damage. So that is something, I suppose. Let's fix the cars as best we can. Let's start by prepping the powertrains for the next race. It's a sprint. So we're going to go with the absolute worst parts available for that one and only practice set. Oh, no, wait, it's Spain next, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll still put crap parts in. We'll go with that one. And let's install the replacement underfloor. I don't have any new chassis at all anymore, so we're having to roll both cars back. That's definitely a significant hit, which is not great going to a track where we need every little bit of performance we can. We can replace the front wing, and we're going to have to roll back the underfloor as well. Oh my God, we are struggling for parts. We've got a lot of parts that are at medium risk. Some of those are probably going to break at Barcelona. And yeah, we just don't have time to get stuff out. We can get a suspension out in 5 days, and then we'll have to throw in another underfloor. Yeah, it's not ideal, is it? It's not ideal at all. Let's check in with the board. With the board okay? They were satisfied. That was the best I could hope for. They would be satisfied with one car finishing. So that I count that as a win. That we didn't piss off the board. Let's see. We are still 25 days away from getting that extra level at the factory. Oh, that upgrade now, as expensive as it was, with the overtime, it's now looking like probably should have paid it. It would have taken 15 days off that, or 18 days off of that. So it would be ready in just a few days' time. 1 week. Let's check our other facilities while we're here. Good, good, and good. It's nice to have the race sim at level 3. Boardroom's getting a little low. Might have to think about dropping an upgrade on that soon. How much will it cost? 590k. I can't afford to. I need that money to be able to put underfloors into manufacturing. Let's advance time. Oh, so the new underfloor design is ready, so we can now just start building a new underfloor outright, rather than building replacements of the Mark IIs. We can go straight to the Mark III. Got to wait for a spot to open up though still, I believe. Yeah, got to wait 2 more days. Something in the inbox. Just a low stock warning, we know about that. We'll be starting the Mark III suspension in a minute. But we can now at least get both cars back onto the Mark II with a spare, which is good, because Mick's car is likely to... Is it Mick's car or is it Teo's car? Teo's car is likely to need to replace that very, very soon. Can I at least change the chassis out yet? Yes, let's put a new chassis back on Mick. I'm short on front wings again. Let's start building the underfloors, the new ones. Can't even afford to get a second one going. Oh, it's rough going at the moment. It really is. Everything's a struggle. Right, let's check in with our staff survey results. Still enthusiastic for both Mick and Teo, although they're only slightly unhappy with car performance now. So they're seeing the benefit of the improvements that we're bringing, and they are responding to that. Unfortunately, our engineers aren't. They're still neutral. He's only unhappy about performance, so that's good. He's improving his mentality on that. Positive overall. Matt Harmon is loving life here at Nissan at the moment. Aurelian is miserable. Tuka at least is positive, although he's not very happy with the car at all, and I don't care about these two because they're both going. As soon as we can afford to get rid of them. Are we in a position where we can start to look at contracts? Not yet. Not yet. Probably going to have to wait till July. A little bit of extra cash. We're up to 446. Is that enough? I think I'm about 3.5 grand short of being able to get another underfloor going. Oh no, they're 400k each, so we can add an extra one in. There we go. We're about to get some money from our sponsors as well. Don't know about the engine. There we go. Comfortably achieved the target there. And I think we had a compulsory as well, didn't we? Yes, a mandatory fashion show appearance for 4.2 mil. That is a nice, healthy injection of cash when we really, really needed it. So, much as I would love to continue to try and get some upgrades in here, I can't afford those, but I can afford to improve that. Let's go ahead and drop an upgrade on the boardroom as well. And then that leaves me with 6.7 mil, which is good enough for us to do some more development and research. So, what chassis are we on at the moment? Mark II, I think. Let's actually double check where we are in the warehouse. So, we're on a Mark II chassis. We're on a Mark II front wing, a Mark II rear wing, a Mark II side pod. We've just started the Mark III underfloors. We've got Mark III suspensions, which we haven't been able to start building yet. So let's have a look at designing maybe a new front wing. When will that be ready? So it'll take 42 days. So we'll have that for Zandvoort. That'll be ready to start being built in the mid-season break. So we can come back with a new spec of car after the summer. Let's get a rear wing going as well. Something focus. Yeah, let's go with that. So again, this will be ready for Zandvoort. and more importantly, Monza straight after Zandvoort. And then we want to get actually, when do we get the ATR? We get the ATR in a few days, so we'll hang on to the next upgrade. Let's get, which part have I done a research project on so far? Was it the chassis? It was. Let's get the suspension upgrade or research project in. There we go, and we'll leave that slot for a week for the new ATR period, so that we can get like a new chassis with a lot of hours dumped into it, because that will hopefully be worth quite a bit of performance for us. Sponsor plan, let's have a look. We've got an energy drink Cameo, which is worth just under $1 million. And look how much easier this is going to be to fulfill now that we've got that upgrade in. Can we do 2 engineers? No, we can't. Do we want to do the weather center again? That's during race weekends. I think we'll go with during race weekends rather than just in general for the whole month. That's not quite enough. We're still just short. That will get us over the line. So will that. Sporting director. He's not happy at the moment, but I'd rather him than the pit crew itself. I don't want to affect my head of aero or technical, given that we are about to try and drop a lot of upgrades on the car for the second half of the season. So we'll go with that. That will exceed the target by 450. That'll be worth 6.23 mil in 6 weeks' time. 1 day to go until Barcelona. Let's move forward a day. Let's see where we sit with our cars, not our drivers, our cars. Still only got the one chassis. They're both on the same front wing, both on the same rear wing, both on the same side pod. Still don't have an underfloor yet. Won't have that in time until the next Grand Prix. And they're still on the same suspension as well. So, yeah, there we go. We are kind of prepped and ready for the next race at Barcelona on Monday. It's going to be another wet qualifying and then a cloudy race. Hopefully that'll help keep the tyre temps under control, but even with the temps a bit easier to manage. This is a circuit that is quite abrasive, so tyre wear is pretty high anyway. And with the dirty air, I think this could be a race where we just cannot even think about going soft, medium, unless we look at maybe 3-stopping. And I think we may 3-stop this race. Not sure yet. I will think about that over the weekend. But yeah, there we go. Quick summary of the standings for you as we get ready to head into the weekend. Carlos Sainz is top of the driver's standings by just 2 points from Lando Norris. Charles Leclerc is down in 3rd place after a pointless weekend at Montreal. Ferrari still lead the constructors' standings by 76 points. Or is that 66 points? It's 66 points. Red Bull in 3rd on 206. They are 56 points behind. And then we are currently sitting in 7th in the constructors' standings. Still ahead of Williams, but if they get another point, they will jump us. And our best driver that is in 13th in the standings, Teo, for that 1 points finish that we had so far. Mick is best of the rest when it comes to the non-scorers. He is in 16th place. So it's not been a horrible first 9 Grand Prix. We've had some highs we've had a couple of lows, specifically in the last couple of races as well, with a retirement from each driver in the last 2 races. Hopefully things can stabilize as we go into the next couple of races. We cannot afford any more crashes because we are dangerously low on stock of parts. We don't even have enough for the Gen 2 parts. We're having to roll back to Gen 1 in some cases, let alone roll out the new Gen 3 parts that are waiting to be built. So yeah, we need clean racing. We need to avoid crashing and bring the cars home as healthy as possible. But I'm kind of pleased with the progress that we've made so far this season, and I'm really enjoying the realistic racing mod. It's adding a whole new element to this game that we've not really been able to experience before. So if you are enjoying this series, then it'd be awesome if you dropped a like on the stream. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then why not consider subscribing as well? Be sure to hit that bell to be notified of new content. There'll be another episode of The Precinct going live tomorrow, and another episode of American Truck Sim as well. And then I'll be adding some new content from Railway Island to over the weekend, probably on Sunday, going into next week, and Tile City won't be too far behind that as well. And Construction Sim will be appearing on the channel on the PlayStation next week as well. So plenty of new stuff to come. Hope you'll check those out. Until then, though, enjoy your actual Canadian Grand Prix this weekend. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.